Be me. 29 years old, been married to my wife Rachel for 3 years now, together for 6 total. Work as an IT support guy at a mid-sized company. She's a dental hygienist. We're doing okay financially. Nothing crazy, but comfortable. Own a small house in the suburbs, 2 cats, very standard millennial married life. Rachel is great, genuinely love her. We get along most of the time, have similar interests and values. Problem is her family, specifically her mother Linda and her sister Ashley. These 2 women are the most exhausting people I've ever encountered in my life. Linda is one of those mother-in-laws who has an opinion about everything and isn't shy about sharing it. How we decorate our house, what we eat, when we should have kids, how we spend our money, where we vacation, literally everything. Ashley is somehow even worse. She's 2 years older than Rachel and treats her like she's still a teenager who needs constant guidance. They both visit a lot, like at least once a week, usually more. I've tried to be patient because Rachel loves her family and I don't want to be that husband who isolates his wife from her relatives. But it's gotten to a point where I need to vent somewhere or I'm going to lose my mind. So about 6 months ago, I created a burner Reddit account, username something generic like throwaway guy847, started posting in relationship advice subreddits and the Just No Mail community about my situation. Nothing too identifying, just general stories about overbearing in-laws and asking for advice on how to handle it. The responses were mostly supportive, people telling me to set boundaries, communicate with my wife, don't let them walk all over me. Some posts got pretty popular actually, hundreds of upvotes and comments of people sharing similar experiences. It became therapeutic, honestly, just getting it all out there anonymously and having strangers validate that I'm not crazy for being frustrated. I was careful though, never posted from my main account, always used incognito mode, cleared my browser history like I was hiding state secrets. Rachel has no idea about any of this. As far as she knows, I think her family is just slightly annoying but tolerable. In reality, I've been documenting every irritating interaction on Reddit for months. One particularly bad incident was when Linda came over unannounced while Rachel was at work. I was in the middle of an important work call, clearly visible through the window with my headset on. She let herself in with the spare key Rachel gave her, started vacuuming because the house looked dirty. I had to mute my call multiple times because of the noise. My boss was not happy. Afterward, I posted about it on Reddit. Title was something like MIL let herself in during my work call and started cleaning. Got like 800 upvotes. Everyone agreed she was out of line, suggested I ask for the spare key back. Another time, Ashley showed up with paint samples because she thought our living room color was depressing. Didn't ask if we wanted to repaint, just assumed we did and brought samples. Spent an hour explaining color theory to us like we were children. Posted about that too. SAL wants to redecorate our house without permission. Comment section was ruthless, people calling her controlling and boundary stomping. Felt good to have people on my side for once. The posts became more frequent as the situations got worse. Linda commenting on Rachel's weight, suggesting she should eat less bread. Ashley criticizing how we load the dishwasher, saying we're doing it wrong and wasting water. Linda asking when we're having kids every single time we see her, making comments about Rachel's biological clock. Ashley offering unsolicited marriage advice despite being divorced twice. All of it went on Reddit. All of it got supportive responses telling me these women were nightmares. I showed some of the comments to my buddy Mike at work. He thought the whole thing was hilarious. Dude, you're basically running a reality show about your in-laws on Reddit. It's the only thing keeping me sane, man. Have you thought about actually talking to Rachel about this? I've tried to bring it up gently, but she gets defensive. They're her family, you know? Yeah, but they're making your life miserable. That's not cool. He was right, but I didn't know how to have that conversation without it becoming a huge thing. So I kept posting on Reddit instead like a coward. Then last month, something happened that changed everything. I was at work, left my laptop at home because I forgot it like an idiot. Rachel was off that day, decided to do some online shopping on my computer. I have Chrome set to not save passwords or stay logged into anything for security reasons. But apparently, I had left one tab open on Reddit from the night before. My burner account logged in, post history visible. Rachel texted me around noon. Hey, can we talk when you get home? Nothing bad, just want to discuss something. That text made my stomach drop because we need to talk is never nothing bad. Spent the rest of my workday paranoid about what she might have found. Maybe she saw my Amazon browsing history. I had been looking at gaming chairs, which she thinks are ugly. Or maybe she found out I've been watching that show she hates when she's not home. Didn't even occur to me it could be the Reddit account because I was usually so careful. Got home around 6. Rachel was sitting on the couch with her laptop. My laptop was on the coffee table, screen facing me. Reddit was open, my burner account profile clearly visible. Oh no. "So, I found something interesting today," she said, voice completely neutral. I sat down, trying to figure out how screwed I was. "I was using your laptop and found your Reddit account, the throwaway one." "Rachel, I can explain. I read through your posts, all of them actually. Took me like 2 hours. This was it. This was how my marriage ended. Death by Reddit post. History. I'm really sorry. I should have talked to you directly instead of posting online about it." She held up her hand. "Hold on, let me finish. I read everything you wrote about my mom and sister." "I know, I'm sorry. I was just venting and needed an outlet." And you know what I realized while reading it? Oh God, here it comes. "You're absolutely right about everything." "Wait, what?" "What?" "You're right. My mom is overbearing and boundary stomping. Ashley is controlling and judgmental. They've been making both of our lives miserable." I'm just sitting there in shock. I've been making excuses for them because they're family, but reading your posts and seeing all those comments from strangers saying the same things, it made me realize how bad it actually is. "You're not mad?" "Oh, I'm a little annoyed you didn't just talk to me directly, but honestly, I get why you didn't. I've been defensive every time you've tried to bring it up." This is the weirdest conversation I've ever had. "Some of those posts were pretty harsh though," I said carefully. "They were honest, there's a difference. And the commenters were harsh. You were actually pretty diplomatic about it." She pulled up one of my posts. Like this one where my mom criticized your cooking and you just wrote, "MIL said my pot roast was dry, suggested I watch some cooking videos." That's pretty mild compared to what apparently happened. What actually happened? She literally said your pot roast tasted like shoe leather and asked if I married you for your cooking skills, because clearly that wasn't it. Jesus, I forgot she said that part. See, you were nicer about them online than they deserved. Meanwhile, I've been letting them treat you like crap because I didn't want to rock the boat. Rachel showed me her phone. She had created her own Reddit account. I made my own throwaway and posted in the Justin No Mile subreddit, told them everything from my perspective about how my mom and sister have been overbearing my whole life and how I've been making my husband deal with it. What did people say? They told me I needed to set boundaries immediately or risk my marriage, said I was being a bad partner by not protecting you from their behavior. Holy crap, Reddit saved my marriage. "So what do we do now?" I asked. "We set some serious boundaries. I'm going to have a conversation with both of them this week. Lay down some rules about visiting, comments, unsolicited advice, all of it." "Are you sure? I don't want to cause problems between you and your family." "You're not causing problems, they are, and I should have dealt with this years ago." We spent the next few hours going through my posts together. She laughed at some of them, got angry at others, especially the ones where her family had been particularly cruel. "I can't believe she said that about the house. We literally just bought it." "Yeah, Linda has opinions about the neighborhood, the layout, the yard, pretty much everything. And I just let her, God, I'm sorry, I've been a terrible wife." "You haven't been terrible. You were just trying to keep everyone happy. At your expense, though, that's not okay." She was genuinely upset with herself. "Hey, we're fixing it now. That's what matters." That weekend, Rachel invited her mom and sister over for lunch. I was nervous as hell, didn't know how this was going to go down. They showed up together like always. Linda immediately started commenting on the grass needing to be cut. We sat down at the table. Rachel had prepared a whole speech. "Mom, Ashley, I need to talk to you both about some things that have been bothering me." Linda looked concerned. Ashley looked annoyed. "Is everything okay, honey?" Linda asked. "Not really. I've been realizing lately that some of your behaviors have been really crossing boundaries, and it needs to stop." You could hear a pin drop. Ashley spoke first. "What are you talking about?" "I'm talking about the constant unsolicited advice, the criticism, the showing up unannounced, the comments about our life choices. We're just trying to help," Linda said defensively. "But we didn't ask for help. And a lot of what you say isn't helpful. It's just judgmental and hurtful." Rachel pulled out her phone, started reading examples. "Mom, you've commented on my weight at least a dozen times in the past year. You've criticized how we decorate our house, how we spend our money when we're having kids. I'm your mother. I'm allowed to have opinions. You're allowed to have opinions, but you're not allowed to force them on us, especially not in our own home." She turned to Ashley. And you treat me like I'm incompetent. You criticize how we do basic household tasks. You offered to redecorate our living room without even asking if we wanted that. I was just trying to help you guys have a nicer space, Ashley protested. We like our space the way it is, and even if we didn't, we're adults who can figure it out ourselves. Linda was tearing up. I can't believe you think we're so terrible. I don't think you're terrible. I think you're overbearing and you don't respect our boundaries. What boundaries? You never said there were boundaries. Because every time I've tried to push back even a little, you get upset and make me feel guilty. This was actually going better than I expected. Rachel laid out specific rules. Call before coming over, no more spare key access, no comments about our lifestyle choices, no unsolicited advice unless specifically asked. Both Linda and Ashley looked shocked. So we're just supposed to stay away? Linda asked dramatically. No, you're supposed to visit like normal guests, respectfully and with prior notice. I can't believe you're doing this, Ashley said. I'm doing this because I love my husband and I'm tired of watching him be uncomfortable in his own home. She reached over and grabbed my hand. He's been incredibly patient with both of you, but it's not fair to expect him to just deal with constant boundary violations. Linda looked at me like this was all my fault. Did you put her up to this? No, ma'am. This is all Rachel, but I do agree with everything she's saying. Of course you do. You probably hate us. I don't hate you. I just want to have a peaceful home life. The lunch ended awkwardly. Linda and Ashley left in a huff, saying they needed time to process. After they left, Rachel collapsed on the couch. That was the hardest thing I've ever done. You were amazing, seriously. Was I too harsh? You were firm but fair. They needed to hear all of that. I feel like I'm going to throw up. That's normal. Confrontation is exhausting. We ordered pizza and watched comfort shows the rest of the day. Next few days were quiet. Neither Linda nor Ashley reached out. Rachel was anxious about it, but trying to stay strong. What if they never talk to me again? Then they're choosing their pride over having a relationship with you. That's on them, not you. Day 4, Linda texted, "Can we talk?" Rachel called her. They talked for over an hour. I could only hear Rachel's side, but it seemed to go okay. She came out of the bedroom looking relieved. Mom apologized, said she didn't realize how bad it had gotten, wants to work on respecting our boundaries. That's good, right? Yeah, she was actually really sincere about it. Said she's been going to therapy anyway, and this is something she's working on. What about Ashley? Mom said Ashley is still upset, but she'll come around eventually. Things were quiet for about 2 weeks. Then Linda asked if she could come visit, gave us 3 days' notice, asked what time worked for us. She showed up with flowers and an apology card. I'm sorry for overstepping, I'm going to do better. The visit was actually pleasant. She didn't criticize anything, didn't offer unsolicited advice, just had a normal conversation. When she left, Rachel looked at me with tears in her eyes. That's the first time in years a visit from my mom didn't stress me out. Progress. Ashley took longer, about a month before she reached out, sent a long text that was half apology, half justification for her behavior. I'm sorry if I came across as controlling. I just want what's best for you. Not a perfect apology, but it was something. They made plans to get coffee and talk it out. Apparently, Ashley admitted she's been projecting her own life disappointments onto Rachel. She said watching me be happy in my marriage made her feel bad about her divorces, so she was nitpicking to feel better about herself. That's actually really sad. It is, but it's also not our responsibility to manage her feelings by letting her control our life. True. Things slowly got better over the next few months. Linda still had moments where she'd start to overstep, then catch herself. Have you thought about, actually never mind, not my business. Ashley was making an effort too, though she was still occasionally condescending. If you ever need help with, no wait, you guys are adults, you got it. Baby steps. The whole situation became a running joke with my Reddit account. I made one final post titled Update. Wife found my burner account and agreed with everything. Got like 5,000 upvotes and dozens of awards. Comments were full of people saying this was the best possible outcome. This is the healthiest resolution to a mill story I've ever seen on this sub. Your wife is a real one for acknowledging the problem and fixing it. Relationship goals, honestly. I showed Rachel the post and all the comments. Reddit thinks you're amazing. Reddit helped me see the truth, so thank you, internet strangers. She made a comment on the post from her own throwaway. Wife here, husband was right about everything. Working on being a better partner. That comment got 2,000 upvotes. People were losing their minds about both of us being on the thread. This is the most wholesome thing I've ever seen on this cursed website. We both laughed, reading through the responses. A few months later, we're at a family dinner at Linda's house. Everyone's there, Rachel's dad, Ashley, and her new boyfriend, some cousins. Dinner's going well, conversation is pleasant. Linda hasn't made a single inappropriate comment. Then Rachel's dad makes a joke about something. Remember when Linda used to rearrange everyone's kitchens when she visited? Everyone laughs nervously. Linda actually laughed too. I was pretty bad about that, wasn't I? You reorganized my entire pantry once while I was at work, Rachel's aunt said. I thought I was being helpful. You were being controlling, Ashley said, surprisingly self-aware. We both were, still working on it. Linda looked at Rachel and me. I'm really grateful you two spoke up. I needed to hear it, even if it was hard. We're grateful you listened, Rachel said. Yeah, these past few months have been a lot more peaceful, I added. I'm sure they have been. I was exhausting. The fact that Linda could acknowledge it made a huge difference. Later that night, driving home, Rachel brought something up. You know what's funny? What? If I had found your Reddit account and you had been talking crap about my family just to vent, I would have been furious. Right? But because you were genuinely asking for advice and trying to figure out how to handle the situation, and because everyone validated that it was actually a problem, I couldn't be mad. The comments helped so much. Seeing hundreds of strangers say the same things you'd been gently trying to tell me made me realize I'd been in denial. I'm glad it worked out. Me too. Imagine if I'd just gotten mad and we never fixed anything. I'd probably still be secretly posting on Reddit, and I'd still be letting my family walk all over us. We got home, settled in with the cats, put on a movie. You still check the Reddit account? She asked. Sometimes people still comment on the old posts asking for updates. You should do one final update telling them everything worked out. You think? Yeah, give them closure, plus it might help someone else in a similar situation. So I wrote one last post explaining everything that happened after Rachel found the account, how she agreed with me, set boundaries with her family, how things improved dramatically. Ended it with, sometimes you just need an outside perspective to see what you've been ignoring. Thanks Reddit for giving my wife that perspective. Posted it, went to bed. Woke up the next morning to over 10,000 upvotes and hundreds of comments. People were genuinely moved by the story. This is the best ending to any relationship post on this entire website. Your wife is incredible for being able to hear criticism of her family and actually do something about it. You're both great partners. This gives me hope, showed Rachel over breakfast. We're Reddit famous. Is that a good thing? For this story, yeah. A few weeks later, we're having dinner with Mike and his wife. Mike brings up the Reddit saga. Dude, I still can't believe your wife found your account and instead of divorcing you, she fixed the problem. It was a close call, honestly. Rachel, you're a legend for that, Mike's wife said. I'm just glad he was posting about it instead of bottling it up until he snapped. That's actually really mature, Mike said. We're learning. Therapy has helped too. You guys are in therapy? Mike asked. Couples counseling just to make sure we're communicating better. The Reddit thing made us realize we need to work on talking to each other directly. That's really healthy. Yeah, our therapist thinks the Reddit account was actually a good intermediary step. Gave us both perspective before having the hard conversations. Mike laughed. Only you two would get recommended Reddit by a therapist. She didn't recommend it. She just said it served a purpose in helping us see the situation clearly. Dinner conversation moved on, but I kept thinking about how weird the whole situation was. I had been terrified of Rachel finding that account. Thought it would be the end of everything. Instead, it became the catalyst for actually fixing our problems. A couple months after that, Ashley got engaged to her boyfriend. We were all surprised because they'd only been dating for like 6 months. At the engagement party, Ashley pulled Rachel aside. I want to thank you for what you did earlier this year. What do you mean? Calling me out on my behavior. It sucked to hear, but it made me look at how I was sabotaging my own relationships. Oh, I'm glad it helped. I've been in therapy working on my control issues. Turns out I have a lot of anxiety that manifests as trying to control everything around me. That makes sense. My therapist said what you did was an act of love. Real family tells you the truth even when it's uncomfortable. Rachel told me about the conversation later. I can't believe Ashley thanked me for telling her she was overbearing. Character development. It's weird seeing her self-aware. It's like she's a different person. People can change when they want to. Think she'll actually keep it up? Time will tell, but at least she's trying. We're now about a year out from the whole Reddit incident. Life is genuinely good. Linda visits maybe twice a month, always with notice, always respectful. Ashley is planning her wedding and surprisingly hasn't been a nightmare about it. Rachel and I are stronger than ever. Communication is way better. We still laugh about how the whole thing went down. Remember when you thought you were hiding this huge secret? She'll say. Remember when you thought your family was just slightly annoying? We were both in denial about different things. Thank God for nosy spouses and open browser tabs. I still have the Reddit account. Don't post much anymore, but I check in sometimes. People still comment on the posts occasionally. Coming back to this story a year later, still the best MIL resolution. Hope you guys are still doing well. I'll reply sometimes with brief updates. Still good. Family boundaries still holding. Wife is still amazing. Mike thinks I should write a book about it. Dude, it's a great story, marriage saved by Reddit. Nobody would believe it. That's what makes it perfect. I probably won't write a book, but it is a pretty wild story. Never thought I'd be grateful for forgetting to close a browser tab. That one mistake led to the best conversation Rachel and I ever had, forced us both to confront things we'd been avoiding, made our marriage stronger, improved her relationship with her family, all because I needed to vent to strangers on the internet. Mom called me the other day, my actual mom, not Linda. How are things with Rachel's family? Actually really good. We worked through a lot of stuff. I'm glad. I know that was causing you stress. It was, but it's so much better now. You're a good husband for being patient while Rachel figured it out. She's a good wife for actually figuring it out. You're both good people. That's why it worked. Mom always knows what to say. Sitting here now, year later, reflecting on the whole mess. Could have gone so differently. Rachel could have been furious, could have felt betrayed, could have chosen her family over me. Instead, she chose to see the truth and do something about it. That takes real strength and maturity. I'm lucky to be married to someone who can admit when they're wrong and work to fix it. She's lucky to be married to someone who tried to handle things respectfully instead of just exploding. We're both lucky we found Reddit when we did. Never thought I'd say that sentence, but here we are. Life is weird. Marriage is complicated. In-laws are challenging. But with good communication and willingness to change, things can get better. Oh, and always clear your browser history. Unless your wife finding it might actually save your marriage. Then maybe leave one tab open and hope for the best. My face when I was terrified my wife would find my burner account where I complained about her family, but she found it and agreed with everything I said. That feeling when Reddit accidentally saved your marriage by giving your wife the outside perspective, she needed to realize her family was actually the problem.